Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Lamb. Here's a preview of some of today's top stories. U.S. officials say they may have heard the implosion the day the Titan submersible went missing. And the director for the movie Titanic says he wishes he spoke up sooner about the vessel. For the first time ever, the United States is filing charges against Chinese fentanyl manufacturers. This comes as reports of fentanyl-related deaths nearly doubled in one California county. The country's largest pension fund just fell victim to a cyber attack. Millions of people have been affected, which include hundreds of thousands of Californians. The Titanic director said he wished he voiced his concerns earlier about the submersible that imploded and killed all 5 on board. Officials also revealed that an implosion may have been heard the day they lost communications with the sub, which could mean the 5-day search was futile.
Movie director and submersible maker James Cameron said on Thursday he wishes he had sounded the alarm earlier about the submersible Titan that imploded on an expedition to the Titanic wreckage. He says he had found the hull design risky.
I wish I had been more vocal about that, but I think I was unaware that they weren't certified because I wasn't really studying it. I wasn't really interested. Stockton Rush asked me if I wanted to go out there and dive this season.
Cameron became a deep-sea explorer in the 1990s while researching and making his Oscar-winning blockbuster, Titanic. He is also co-owner of Triton Submarines, which makes submersibles for research and tourism. When he heard that OceanGate was making a deep-sea submersible with a composite carbon fiber and titanium hull, Cameron said he was skeptical.
I never believed in that technology of wound carbon fiber, wound filament, cylindrical hull. I thought it was a horrible idea. I wish I'd spoken up, but I assumed somebody was smarter than me, because I'd never experimented with that technology, but it just sounded bad on its face, because we make pressure hulls out of contiguous material: steel, titanium, ceramic, acrylic.
A 2021 video resurfaced of OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush saying he had broken some rules to design the Titan, citing innovation. The vessel lost communication about an hour and 45 minutes after it started the journey.
It's greater meaning to us, historically and societally, that it's about warnings that were ignored. That ship's lying at the bottom of the ocean, not because of the nature of its steel or the nature of its compartments, but just because of bad seamanship. The captain was warned, there were icebergs ahead, it was a moonless night, and he plowed ahead for whatever reason. I think there was some greed, there was some glory in it. He had to boot up his rear from J. Bruce Ismay to get into New York on time or early, so they'd have a headline, which I show in the film, And here we are again, and at the same place, Now there's one wreck lying next to the other wreck for the same damn reason.
All 5 aboard the vessel were declared dead. 2 were a father and his 19-year-old son. In an interview with NBC News, the Pakistani college student's aunt said he was terrified about going and wasn't very up for it. But he went anyway because the excursion fell on Father's Day and wanted to please his father, who was passionate about the Titanic.
This father and son on Father's Day, paid $500,000 to go down in this thing. Holy crap. It's just tragic, and it's horrific, and it's unnecessary.
Officials later revealed that the U.S. Navy top-secret acoustic detection system had picked up explosion or implosion sounds within hours after the Titan began its descent. The location of the sound is consistent with where the wreckage was found on Thursday.
Today, for the first time ever, the U.S. filed charges against Chinese fentanyl manufacturers. I spoke to officials in Silicon Valley, where county officials reported a spike in fentanyl-related deaths. On Friday, the U.S. Justice Department filed charges against 4 Chinese chemical manufacturing companies and 8 individuals, alleging they illegally trafficked the chemicals used to make fentanyl.
These companies and their employees knowingly conspired to manufacture deadly fentanyl for distribution in the United States.
The indictments mark the first time the United States has sought to prosecute any of the Chinese companies responsible for manufacturing the precursor chemicals used to make the synthetic drug. Several of the companies mentioned were Hebei Amarvel Biotech and Anhui Runcheng Technology. Prosecutors said the companies, including one called Hebei Sinaloa Trading Co., advertised on social media platforms in Mexico and the U.S. They then used false customs forms, mislabeled packages, and masking molecules to ship the chemicals by boat and air.
Upon receipt of the shipment, however, the purchaser is able to easily remove the masking molecules and return the chemical to its original form as a fentanyl precursor.
It breaks new ground by attacking the fentanyl supply chain at its origin.
Meanwhile, California's Santa Clara County reported fentanyl deaths doubling in May, from 17 to 41.
What we have seen is we have seen a number of deaths, particularly in the 20 to 39-year-old age group. We have also seen fentanyl-related fatalities involving the adolescent age group. We have seen fentanyl fatalities involving both powder forms of fentanyl as well as fake pill forms.
Dr. Michelle Jordan said the county, during investigations, had found remnants of fake pills on scene.
So within my office, we are prosecuting people who traffic fentanyl, and specifically those people who sell fentanyl that results in somebody's death. My office has already filed 3 murder charges, and we will continue to file those kinds of cases as the evidence sort of presents itself for those types of cases.
The deputy DA said, aside from the law enforcement side, the county is trying to take a holistic approach by providing the drug reversal spray Narcan to the community, as well as finding treatment for those suffering from substance use disorder. In Santa Clara, California, David Lamb, NTD News. The country's largest public pension fund says a recent cyber attack stole personal information of over 2 million of their policyholders. Around hundreds of thousands of retired California employees were among those affected. Here's the story.
Genworth, the country's largest public pension fund, said on Thursday the personal information of nearly 770,000 retired California employees and other beneficiaries were among the data stolen in a recent attack by Russian cybercriminals. This includes information such as social security numbers. Genworth blames the breach on third-party vendor PBI Research Services Brewing Group, which verifies deaths. This vendor also lost the personal data of at least 2.5 million Genworth financial policyholders to the same criminal group. The California Public Employees Retirement System, or Calpers, said they were offering affected members 2 years of free credit monitoring. Genworth said it would also offer credit monitoring and ID theft protection. Calpers CEO Marcy Frost said in a news release, "This external breach of information is inexcusable. Our members deserve better. As soon as we learned about what happened, we took fast action to protect our members' financial interests, as well as steps to ensure long-term protections." Calpers has more than $442 billion in assets as of December 31st, and about 1.5 million members. The criminal gang behind the hack is known as QUAP, which extorts victims and threatens to dump their data online if they don't pay up.
We'll now take a short break, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. Some academics are suggesting to increase the number of LA City Council members. The idea is in response to last year's leaked audio controversy. A story of pain, healing, forgiveness, and a modern-day miracle. The new feature film Silver Screen Dreams touches the hearts of moviegoers at the red carpet premiere. What better way to celebrate a birthday than with a block party? A California man's 100th surprise birthday party was made possible with the help of his family and nearly 200 pups. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Lamb. Now, some academics are now suggesting to expand the LA city government by increasing the number of council members. This is in response to a 2022 controversy over racially disparaging remarks made by city councilors.
A group of Los Angeles top academic scholars and researchers are proposing to expand the number of LA City Council members. This move was spurred by racially disparaging remarks by some members last year. The Los Angeles Governance Reform Project is a group of university scholars, researchers, and leaders. They recommend expanding LA City Council to 25 members from its current 15. They're also proposing to create an independent redistricting commission. They hope to eventually let voters decide whether to adopt their vision on Election Day in November 2024. Los Angeles City Council President Paul Krikorian has pushed for an independent commission in the past, to no avail. He said in the wake of recent violations of the public's trust and failures to meet the standards of integrity the people deserve of their elected officials, we can no longer accept businesses as usual. Redistricting has taken on new urgency ever since the leaked audio involving members of the city council. The recording captured conversations between 3 council members on the city's redistricting process. But at one point, Councilwoman Nuri Martinez was caught making racial slurs about fellow member Mike Bunning's son. The audio led protesters to join state officials in condemning the comments, calling for the members to resign. Martinez quit within days, but Gil Chadiro stayed on until his term ended last year. Kevin DeLeon remains on the council.
You love a spicy chicken sandwich on your lunch break, but feel bad in case those animals suffered. Well, help could be on the way. Now, regulators gave the green light yesterday to chicken grown in a lab. Animal cells are the main ingredient in this guilt-free concoction. 2 California companies got the thumbs up to offer their chicken delight to restaurants and supermarkets.
They call it cultivated meat, and it's grown in steel tanks. The goal is to produce tasty meat without the need to harm or slaughter animals. Supporters say more lab-grown meat is better for the environment. That's because of less grazing animals, animal waste, and the need to grow animal feed. A recent AP poll showed about 50% of the U.S. adults don't want to try lab-grown meat. Their reason? It just sounds weird. Singapore was actually the first country to allow the selling of meat made from animal cells.
Now, the Walt Disney Company has sold its last radio station to a religious broadcaster. The purchase will now put the Christian church into the AM radio market.
The Walt Disney Company sold its last radio station, KRDC, to religious broadcaster Calvary Costa Mesa. The Christian church bought the station for $5 million. On Monday, The Desk reports that Disney filed an application with the Federal Communication Commission to transfer the radio station's license to the religious broadcaster. According to the Radio and Television Business Report, KRDC covers all of Southern California airwaves. KRDC signal will be added to the Calvary Chapel Costa Mesa's established KWVE, airing from the Orange County FM station. KRDC was once the original station of Radio Disney, which started in 2003 through until 2017, when it became Radio Disney Country. The 2 children-targeted networks ceased operations in early 2021, and Disney returned the station to a sports format, carrying its ESPN radio network. Disney has been selling off its other radio stations since 2021, with sales of its sports AM stations in New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago going to Good Karma Brands for $15 million.
Here's a film exploring a story of pain, healing, and forgiveness. A modern-day miracle repairs an actress's shattered dreams. Our very own Entity's David Zhang brings us more from Thursday night premiere of the new feature film, Silver Screen Dreams.
An A-list actress's life ruined, a silver screen dream shattered. Can a miracle revive her and an entire film industry? This is the story told through the latest feature-length art film titled Silver Screen Dreams. Audiences attending the June 22nd premiere in Northern California's Palo Alto say they could relate to the story's message.
I think it's a film that highlights the importance of self-redemption, alternatively phrased as forgiveness. And so I would encourage people to consider that, the importance of that.
I could really relate to the movie. I've been through some hardships, even on council, where I felt like people were attacking me, and it was important for me to have a sense of compassion and to forgive.
Produced by Canadian production team New Century Films, the story takes the audience through a journey of pain, healing, and forgiveness.
I was glad that they premiered here in Palo Alto. I think it talks about a lot of the values that we care about in this country, like perseverance, never giving up, trying to be kind to others.
Well, the wonderful thing was, clearly she won too by forgiving. Like, she was freed. She freed herself, and so they all ended up better off. So it wasn't like she sacrificed in order to do that. And so it's a good lesson. Feel very uplifted, very optimistic, and encouraged about humanity.
Others say they appreciate the traditional values and message portrayed in the film.
If Alanda helped that person, lead actress, come to terms with herself and actually transcend her limitations and eventually get cured. And there are so many parallels in Indian philosophy.
I think the film challenged today's norms and stuck to traditional values. So I thought it was a good message and a film that is appropriate for the entire family.
This is such a blessing for all those actually witness and watch the show.
After the film's premiere, members of the cast and crew attended a meet and greet and interacted with the audience.
I
am very touched by the comments left by audience members. Some say they saw the positive energy and hope in the film, giving them courage to face life's many challenges. As an actress, I'm also very encouraged by that.
Silver Screen Dreams has had its world premiere in Vancouver, Los Angeles, and New York. For upcoming showings, people can check the film's website at silverscreendreams.info.
And to wrap up the week with a fun story, who let all these dogs out? A California man's 100th birthday party is sure to go down in dog block party history. His daughter wanted to do something unforgettable for her dad's special milestone. So what better than a parade of four-legged friends for the lifelong doggy lover?
We Rate Dogs posted all about it on Twitter. Dr. Robert Moore's family got the word out on social media. They wanted folks to dress up their furry pals and parade them in front of their house on the special day. They figured around 20 to 30 dogs would show up, but instead, about 200 dogs and their owners came by to wish him a happy birthday. The turnout was such a smashing canine bonanza that the lines stretched all around the block and down the street, and into block party folklore.
What a sweet story. Now we're going to check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes for a sports roundup.
This is your California Sports Roundup. We have some exciting scores to cover today. I'm Carlos Reyes.
Blake Snell struck out 11 and did not allow a run for the 4th time in his last 5 starts, as the visiting San Diego Padres avoided a 4-game sweep and ended the San Francisco Giants' winning streak at 10 games with an easy 10-0 victory Thursday afternoon. Gary Sanchez, Manny Machado, and Ha-Seong Kim all hit home runs for the Padres, while Sanchez had 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs. San Diego absorbed a pair of walk-off losses and a 2-run defeat in the first 3 games of the series. Staked to a 3-0 lead on a Sanchez homer in the top of the first, Snell coasted through 6 innings, allowing 3 hits and no walks. His 11 strikeout performance came after a pair of 12 strikeout games in his previous 2 starts. Giants starter Alex Wood, who walked 2 batters in front of Sanchez's home run in the first, also yielded Machado's 3-run shot in the third. He gave up 6 runs on 4 hits over 3 innings with 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Patrick Bailey had 2 of the Giants' 3 hits, both singles. Josh Bell homered as Cleveland swept the 3-game series over Oakland while extending their winning streak to 4 games. Miles Straw had 2 hits and an RBI for the Guardians, while starter Logan Allen pitched 4 scoreless innings with 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Nick Sandlin threw 2 innings of scoreless relief. Ace starter JP Sears went 7 innings for the second straight outing. He allowed 2 runs and 4 hits, striking out 8 and walking 1 on an impressive 106 pitches. The A's have lost 8 in a row following a 7-game winning streak. Guardians 6, Athletics 1. To no surprise, Victor Wembanyama was selected first overall by the San Antonio Spurs at the NBA draft in New York on Thursday, making the player seen as a once-in-a-generation talent, the highest drafted French player in league history. The 19-year-old, best known as Wemby, comes into the league with a buzz that has not been seen since LeBron James, the league's all-time leading scorer, was drafted out of high school 20 years ago. Wembanyama cried with joy after NBA Commissioner Adam Silver called his name at the Barclays Center. At 7 feet 4 inches, Wembanyama has the size of a center, but the ball handling, passing, and shooting abilities of a guard. A jaw-dropping combination with the potential to revolutionize the sport. He is dangerous, shooting the ball from long range and athletic enough to rebound and dunk his own misses. Imagine that. With a wingspan of close to 8 feet, he can block shots and grab rebounds with ease and gets up and down the floor quickly for a player of his size. Despite his height, he weighs only 230 pounds, and it remains to be seen whether he can bulk up before the regular season kicks off in late October. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich will look to further develop his unique skill set in the hopes of resurrecting the storied franchise, which has missed the playoffs for 4 consecutive seasons and has not advanced past the opening round since 2017. The team has a history of success with French players, including Tony Parker, who led them to 4 championships between 2003 and 2014, and who Wembanyama grew up admiring.
That is it for today's sports. Thank you for watching. I'm Carlos Reyes.
Thank you, Carlos. Now, that's all we've got for you tonight. We'd like for you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcast at ntd.com/California-Today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with your friends and family. You can also send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganjing World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Lamb. Have a wonderful weekend.